Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the National Championship, the Ascent, the show where we follow the rise of some of Counter-Strike's up-and-coming stars as they battle it out each and every week on ESEA's Rank G leaderboard. My name is Paul Enverum Todd Kill, once again joined by our resident Counter-Strike expert, James Jamerson Lee. Week number 3, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, and this is such a fantastic way just to round out the year.
It absolutely is. We've had 3 amazing shows this year. We got way more action-packed adventure coming at you next year in 2019. But again, as you said, what a way to finish it off here. We have a stellar player to talk about tonight. I'm so very excited about it. But before we do that, let's go over some formatting. Let's talk a little bit more about what we do here. And that, of course, starts off with our sister show, Base Camp, over on Mondays. Bach bringing you some of the best Rank G games, casting that, having a great time. And then, of course, we have the Ascent every single Friday. And that will continue to come to you in the new year, where we highlight one of the top stars on the Rank G leaderboard. We do a lot of amazing things. We talk about, the highlights. We break down. We go hyper into the analysis. And, of course, we look a little bit more. We learn a little bit more about the Counter-Strike community.
Yeah, and there's plenty of community to go around. So I can't wait to get into those Twitch clips later on.
Oh yeah, every single week I have a blast reviewing those because those are legitimately our reactions. We intentionally don't watch them before the show so that we can have those quote unquote amazing reactions.
Candid moments.
The candid moments,
yeah.
Yes indeed. But I expect some other candid moments on the show because of course we get a chance to interview and talk to these amazing players, and we should introduce our player this time around. It's going to be Swifty, one of the top players on the Rank G leaderboard. If you've had an opportunity to play in Rank G, you've probably faced up against this guy.
He's only played 9 games of Pugs on the ESEA ladder, but hey, 66% win rate, so 6 out of 9 games. Look at his other stats though, 1.53 KD, 215 eliminations across 9 games.
And a 97.5 ADR to boot.
Yeah.
The 1.53 KD, that is pretty impressive. Means every time he's getting a kill, he's getting a 1.5 on top of that as well. But that's just in Pugs. As you said, didn't play a whole lot of that. If we look towards his actual stats in the actual Rank G games, we can see that things went a little bit better for him there.
Yeah, and as we see a drastic difference in the win rate, but that kind of happens when you play more games. 51.1 overall, kind of a coin toss there, but over 45 games played, he still put up great numbers. 1.1 KD, 829 frags throughout those 45 games.
Oh yeah, and the number I really want to harp on a little bit is that 50% headshot rate. One of every 2 bullets that comes out of his gun is hitting somebody squarely in the face.
I hear that does a lot of damage.
I hear it does.
I think it does.
I think it does. Yeah. I feel like that's sort of the dream right there. Every 2 bullets you shoot, that's pretty darn good. But at this level, again, I would expect nothing less.
It's surprising though. He's got a 50% headshot rate, right? But his ADR is a little bit lower, sitting at the lower 70s. And you'd imagine if you've got 50% headshot rate, you should have a higher ADR.
Well, what that tells me is that he's playing it maybe a little bit more passively. He's not just firing bullets off willy-nilly. When he goes to take that shot, he makes sure he's lined up, he's in a good position, he's looking to connect with that shot. And I think that speaks to a little bit more patient style of play and, keeping calm under pressure. I feel like that's actually going to be a little bit of a story here as we talk about this play, because as we watch through some of these clips later on, I think keeping calm under pressure is sort of the hallmark here. Yeah,
when you're playing against a lot of these players that are at very similar skill level to you, at times, some players can go off just off instinct alone, but you need to be able to play a reserved style, smart style Counter-Strike to be able to make it up the ladder.
It's all about positioning. It's all about knowing where your opponents are, listening to callouts, and being in a position to execute on multiple kills back to back. But you know what? That's enough talk from us. We actually have Swifty on the line right now. We're going to pick his brain a little bit, learn a little bit more about his approach to Counter-Strike. Swifty, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing well.
Oh yeah, so very well. We're going to talk to you and learn a little bit more about you because we just went through your the stats. But I guess, the place to start is, what is your history with Counter-Strike?
So I started playing Counter-Strike when I was around 6 or 7 years old. It was 1.6. My dad got me involved with it, and I just started playing it. And next, I started getting older. I started playing Source and Team Fortress 2, and I kind of just got involved with Counter-Strike like that. And when CS:GO came out, it was like something fun and new that I wanted to play. And when I saw the major came out, it was probably one of the things I wanted to do the most is go, professional. That's my thing to do now, playing CS:GO.
Yeah, I remember those days. 1.6 running into like the 32-man dust lobbies, the 24/7 dust lobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
those are fun.
but now you're in ESEA, and pretty recently, ESEA is about 10 years old, but you've only gotten into it in about what, the last 3 or 4 years. What prompted you to do that?
I kind of just was looking for a team just to see to see if I can get on a good team. And so when ESC came to me, it was pretty weird at first because I didn't know what to expect. And when I was looking and searching for teams, I found buddies on in pugs that I made friends with, and next you know it, I started get on teams like that. And so when I'm playing ESEA now, it's uh, I'm always on a team, but I usually just don't really ends up well because some teams do on ESEA just uh, have those egos on you, and so you sometimes have to like just play those roles and have to listen to these roles. And so ESEA is to me is amazing to me right now. I love it, and I will always keep playing it just to get better. So
Well, speaking of getting better, how crucial do you think it is, knowing that you have to put a certain amount of games in to rank up? How important is that to keeping your own individual skills sharp? I mean, every single week, how important are these games to you to getting better individually, teams aside, but individually as a player?
um, well, usually what I do is I do a lot of aim those aim death matches and stuff on the servers, and it really helps me with my aim and duels because I'm always running around the map. And so when you're running around the map, you kind of like remember these angles, and when you don't, it's crucial because you always need to know these angles because they're going to be peeking these angles. And for me, when I play pugs in rank G or just a regular pug, I just have to just remember that I can hit these shots, be confident, and be cautious in where I'm going to be peaking.
That's
So
great because we
Yeah.
were wondering about this last week of rank G play. You touted a 50% headshot rate on all the bullets you connected with, and so that answers that perfectly. Just grind out the aim maps.
Yeah, just know those angles. And speaking of angles, we're actually going to review a clip with you right here in this interview. We're actually going to get your thought process and walk through it here. Now, you actually pull off some amazing angles in this clip. So, walk us through this a little bit. It's this clip here on Mirage. I believe you've already watched it through, but just kind of walk us through your thought process for this.
okay, so yeah, it was a 2v4 retake, and so I wanted to go to market door to hold the aggressive push towards market. And so there was already a guy at bench, so he got the call out, and I took out physics, and I just started to bait out this guy towards van, and he just jumped in the air, got killed. And so my buddy jumped out the smoke out of the window and called out there was a guy sight and get right. So I started to fight the guy get right here, and next thing you know, Hickey just comes out of nowhere and just comes between us, and it was a nice clean shot for me to hit him. And so right here, I was just kept fighting him, and I had to be aggressive because I know that the time was ticking away. So I just had to like just be aggressive on him and show him who's the man. I didn't want him to be on have this win. So
I mean, if we actually watch to the end of that clip, you get the defuse, I think, in the final second. You literally could not have got it any more close than that. I definitely think you showed him who was the man in that last situation for sure. But yeah, it's great hearing your thought process on this because it seems like there's a very clear set of directions that you follow. It seems like you have a very clear idea of what you want to accomplish on every single push. Does that just come down to practice, or do you want to watch a lot of pro games? Where does that sort of mentality come from?
I watch a lot of pro games. Watching a lot of pro games to me, it's a good practice to do. And when you analyze each pro, like for pros for me, I like personally is get right, simple, and I think a little bit of Olaf, back in the days. They have really good play style, and you have to understand their play style. in rank G, I actually look at people's play styles and see how they play, and I kind of like compare it to my play style so I can get better as well and perform better. So
I mean, performing pretty stellarly at this point, really up there in the leaderboard. Now, when you come into these situations where it is, clutch or kick, right? Where you need to
hmm
perform for your team. I mean, if I'm put in that situation, I'm panicking. But what's going through your mind? Like, are you racing like 1,000 thoughts a second, or how do you approach those moments?
so in like that 2v4 situation, so when I get the first kill, I usually say, okay, can I get the second kill? Can I do it? And next, this guy peeks out, of course. And so now my mind is thinking, all right, I need to start being more aggressive, start being going out. You have to go out and be cautious in who I fight with. And so when the guy's sight peeked in front of me, uh, to me, I was like, okay, that's another kill. Time to just try to see if I can get this other kill. And when I can't get the kill, I had to just rush them. I had to go after them because uh, it's a thing where players can get scared of if somebody's getting rushed at. They're like, oh my god, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're gonna get scared, and so I kind of like want to scare them in a way of being aggressive and taking my aim on them.
Well, it showed there in that final
Yeah.
play. You were able to go clutch. You were able to pull it off. But you've been going clutch pretty consistently so far. You're actually sitting in second place overall on the leaderboard right now. If you continue in this spot, you will advance up to rank S. You will level up, as it were. What would that mean to you to make it up to that rank S spot?
To make it to rank S is a lot to me because I want to go pro. This game has been a lot to me, and I'm just working to get better at it and get better and better and show, uh, I'm here to be a pro. Show everyone that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much. It's been amazing to hear sort of your thought process and how you keep calm in these stressful situations. We're going to review some of your clips in a bit. And let's just say there are some slightly stressful situations that you are put in here and are able to
Yeah.
make it work. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us and good luck. If you have any last shout outs before we say goodbye?
I just want to say, I don't know. uh, Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. Thank you for watching me. Hope my brother can see this as well because he's into gaming as well. So I hope he watched these and grow up to be like me as well. So
That's awesome.
Well, I was going to give shout outs to the
Yeah.
family, man. You got to appreciate that. Well, dude, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Best of luck.
Yeah, best of luck in all your future games. Thanks for talking to us.
thank you.
Well, you heard it there. You got to give respect to the family at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day because they're the ones helping to support you, helping to keep the dream alive. But again, this has been the common thread with all of these players that we've spoken to is this really legitimate goal. And again, they're close to this of going pro. A lot of these guys, they're on the cusp of really starting to ascend to that next level, and he's facing down rank S right now. It's really cool to see that this is truly the dream for these guys.
And that's the thing, right? It's no longer quite that path untaken. Now, you do have a path you can actually look at. You can see all these other players that grind through ESEA, had made their name known on the ladder, playing throughout the last 30 seasons. And so now it helps to actually just guide you towards
yeah.
your goal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have such a clear-cut path to make it there. It's great to see that all these players are taking it in both hands. They're making the dream a reality. But guys, we're not done yet. We're gonna hop on just a short break, but when we return, we're gonna break down some of these amazing clips and see just exactly how good his play is. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ascent. I'm Inverum. That's Jamerson. We just got a chance to sit down and talk to Swifty a little bit, learn a little bit more about him, the players he admires, and his dreams to go pro. Seems like a good guy with a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, very calm.
Oh, yeah.
Very calm.
Which I feel like is the mainstay of his play. Because the clips we're about to watch, keeping calm under pressure, as I said, it's definitely a staple of his play. But again, enough talk. Let's just get into the clips. We've got to start with a classic frag video. Jamerson, let's do it. Well, as you can see there, it doesn't matter what gun you put in his hands. He seems to make, I think that's probably the most gun diversity we have seen in any one of these highlight reels, which just goes to show that even if you force it up, even if he doesn't have a lot of money in the bank, he can make it work with no matter what you put in his hands.
And the thing is, you know, he talked about it himself during our interview that he did train himself through a lot of those aim maps, really honed in on those angles and which to hold. And you can see that that was a great display throughout the frag video. And he was holding great angles, smart angles, and playing it cautiously and smart.
Oh yeah, he was always putting himself in positions of cover, always able to step back if he needed to. He didn't step wide on any crazy angles. He just put himself in a good spot, got clean shots, didn't overextend, played a good, clean, simple game, which is what you need to do in order to grind out these consistent stats. Because yeah, you can go off sometimes, and sometimes you might get the 4K, but consistent play round after round is what wins games.
Exactly, and his aim is the consistency there. You know, you can always, of course, you know, working your way up through pugs, try to rely upon your aim, but instead he's playing it smart, right? He already knows he has good aim, but he can make it better just by pre-holding a lot of these angles, and that's something that, you know, a lot of people can learn to really up their game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could put the effort in, I could try and fall, or I could just put my crosshead. You can just walk into it and you can die, which makes life
work smart and hard.
That's exactly it. Well, you know what? He definitely plays smart in this next clip. It's our strategy highlight. Let's get into into it here on Nuke because this was a series of not just one, not just two, but a series of amazing plays.
Yeah, they make their way. Their Swifty here is going to be on the T side as he's on the site with the bomb getting ready to plant it here. And the situation isn't great for the T side so far. I believe it's a 2v3, 2v4. And after the plant, he smartly smokes off to make sure that the rotation isn't going to come in all at the same time from the CT side. And he holds this angle at Heaven.
Oh yeah, so he threw Molly up there originally, gave himself the angle for the plant there, and now he's setting this up. And that's what we're talking about. He knows exactly where his opponents are. He sets himself up well. And here though, his teammate gets picked off here over top. This is where he goes clutch.
Yeah, this is very important here as the retake's coming in. He's taking these 1v1 battles. Like you had mentioned, he's not taking wide peaks, right? He's taking the 1v1 duels and really just compartmentalizing a lot of these fights into fights that he can handle.
When you talk to him in the interview, he says, well, I didn't take the one kill. Okay, I got this one kill. Now can I get the next kill? And the next kill. He's constantly thinking about the series of engagements, how he's going to break down these fights, as you said, into these individual components, compartmentalizing every single one of these kills, isolating his opponents, and picking them apart a piece at a time. This, again, was a 3v2 situation. They had ops to their name. They had an advantage here. They should have been, the CT should have been able to pull this. And look at this. This is 15-12. His back is against the wall in this situation.
Yeah, this is just to keep it alive, to stay alive in this map, make sure you can try and push it out to OT. But again, compartmentalizing the fights, smoking off to make sure that they can't push in from main, holds this angle on Heaven, takes out Bonita, and then, of course, fights that 2v1 right after his teammate goes down.
And this is a clutch situation. He goes in, identifies his, gets the clean shot right there, and now he's at a pretty good advantage. That one op shot, that was absolutely crucial, because now he's in close range with the AK.
Yeah, because he misses the shot, Fiend has to go chasing for this. The bomb is ticking away, and he just smartly plays it, does Swifty.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to overextend. He doesn't have to get too aggressive. Again, he can play back because he knows the CTs have to come to him, and it's this smart, patient gameplay when the chips are down. The pressure is there, because again, they lose this round, they lose the game.
Yeah, and again, we get to see how he's able to compartmentalize that push coming out from Huts. Now, Agony here isn't backed up by Fiend because of that smoke slowing him down. We're going to see it from Fiend's angle. He is not able to make entry onto this side, and he is slowed down because of that smoke right after the bomb plant.
That's why I said it was a series of good play, good shots, good the way he used his utility in this round is about as good as it can get. Also, the timing on that body block there, potentially saving his life as well. And now, again, he's in close range position. That's the shot right there. Missed from Fiend. That could have been the game right there and then.
Instantly, you saw Swifty. He misses the shot, he runs away. He doesn't need to go over peeking that. He doesn't want a pistol to come out. Instead, because of that shot missing, that means there's less time for him to actually have that window to try and get a bomb defusal if he could have on the CT side.
I know you have an opera chasing you at point-blank range, but hopping around corners like, I gotta try and get this kill, guys. But you could tell they were feeling a little bit pressured. They were down to this last round. They want to close it out right here and taking advantage with good, crisp, clean, concise play. Swifty, making it look easy.
Yeah, and making sure that, you know, he's playing the round, right? He's not playing the long game. He's not thinking about it in the future. He just needs to make sure that I need to, you know, hunker down and win this round, and then we'll think about the next round when it comes. Instead, this is the round I need to play, and how do I play it perfectly? And he did.
He played it perfectly indeed. Took out the win right there. But speaking of near-perfect rounds, let's get into our next round right here, because context is oh so important. So what better way to get context on a clip than to watch the entire round from start to finish?
So 8-12 as he's on the CT side here, and it's going to be a force spike coming out from the CTs. Swifty's got the up, and so he decides to go for a gutsy play here. Not so gutsy, but a really quick play, and pushes the man in apartments. He just goes up to Van with this op, gets the quick peek, and takes out the first person pushing.
I love this. He just pushes up into Abs. He's got the angle right there. He just rushes straight for it, knows that if he can get that first kill, he's going to make the T's sit back and go, okay, we need to re-identify how we want to execute this push.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to remember that the CTs are playing, you know, down in the economy, 3 Deagles. But even though they lose a team member there, KRZ goes down at A ramp. He got a lot of important information, and so you see, as the information comes across, that the bomb is over at A ramp, and the push is more than likely going to come over to A. He makes the rotation on over.
Yeah, and you heard him in his interview talk about, I am constantly running across the map. Well, he's doing it right here. He's listening to the callouts from his teammates, and he's able to get one sick angle.
Yeah, I believe it's Hybrid who's over at Jungle, distracting these 2 players that made it onto this site. And, you know, they weren't expecting him to push Ticket Box because, well, they had smoked off CT. But instead, he smartly pushes with the aid of his teammate and even gets that last frag.
Look, man, all I see is the face, so I click on the face. That's basically how it goes right there. Well, they had call the opposite would be. They're like, fine, we can push in here, we can rotate. He made that clean rotation over. He used the information that was communicated to him, and he made it look clean.
It was clean. And he was the key member for the team. He was the one that was able to pick up the op, and he made plays with it.
Absolutely. But that was only one clip. We have two more amazing clips coming at you right here. Because, again, we've seen that he can get work done with the sniper. But there's more to this game than just that.
This is such an important round right now. They're looking to close it out. It's 15-14. They just need one more round. But, as you can see from the T side, their money, not that great. 3 AKs, 2 Galils, very little utility, and so they've got to stretch it as much as they can, but it's difficult when you already lose a teammate in fight, 5v4.
Yeah, they're starting things off not in the best position right here. They need to win this round. They need to avoid OT. They need to make it happen right here, right now, but already it is a 3v5 situation. But again, the patient play. He hears the footstep, and boom, instant. Yeah.
And so he punishes that man. Take a look at this next shot here. It's so quick. Woo! You barely get to see it. Top barely saw that before his head got blown off there, and so now they're bringing it down to a 2v3, and so this is a completely doable situation.
Yeah, I believe he hears the audio cue here. He's got the call. There's still somebody marking, but I love how patiently, how slowly he plays this out. Doesn't overextend. Call it. Gets the 6 shot, the counter. Boom. Done. 2 quick kills back to back, and they puts his teammate in a position where what was a 3v5 is now simply a 1v1.
Now, we heard that eventually they ended up losing that round, but they would have lost it much worse, or there was a chance for them to win it because of the plays that he made.
Yeah, and he was still able to put himself and his team in a better position there overall by getting those key kills, by damaging the economy there. And then again, 15-15, but still, they can come back from that. They're going to be in a much better position there as well. Again, he does the work. He listens to the call-outs. He puts himself in a good position. He always has those angles. There's only ever a time where he's being able to be shot at by one person. And normally, he's either the one shooting right back or he's the one initiating that fight. We never see him get snuck up on any of these clips.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you just have to play smart at this point, and he has been throughout all of our clips so far, like you had mentioned, just not over-peaking, making sure he's only committing to one fight at a time instead of 2, 3 people shooting him at the same time.
Yeah, he doesn't put himself in those compromising positions.
Yeah.
Again, at this skill level, though, that is oh so important because you're playing against other incredibly talented players. As you take a look at this last clip here, we see not only some amazing individual skill, but the ability to work with the team in a big way.
And this is a crucial round, as we're in overpass and we just swapped sides. We're in the second half here. The pistol round, especially when you only have a 3-round lead, is so important here to try and grow that and get that comfort zone. Now, we see a quick push out to Fountain as his teammate covers Connector, and so he feels safe to do so, and it's fine. But after he doesn't spot anyone out, he backs away. He doesn't overcommit to something, as all he's looking for is try to get some information. Now he loses someone at Connector and holds this angle. Isn't able to connect with a shot, but he's going to back away and play the range smartly with the USP.
I love this decision making here from him. Again, he just backs up. He knows he still has eyes on the sight. He knows he still has the good angle. His teammate is there to back him up. There is no reason to push out here and take, again, a fight where he doesn't have the cover, where he doesn't have the angle. He's slowly going to push out here, but again, he has his teammate there, as you saw, backing him up from the site.
Yeah, there's still one person over at A, and they tagged the person in bathroom, so he knows this lurk is going to be successful, and he gets it. And then instantly, after that pick comes out, we see the push onto the B site. 2 members coming out from Monster, 1 over at Connector, and they make the rotation on in, but his team plays this smart, and he plays this oh so smart too, holding the high ground here in Heaven.
Oh, I love this play, and this is where all the team play comes into action right here. Watch the collapse from his team right now, coming in from every single angle, keeping him pinned down. You've got the covering fire, and then executing him right there. All 3 members pushing in. That is a no-win situation.
And we got to see that mantra once again, right? He's not over-committing to these peaks. He's taking very smart peaks and making sure very little of his head is actually showing, very little of his body is showing, as he's committing to only one person at a time instead of just leaving himself wide open.
Yeah, and he just sat back. He's like, look, you've got to come to me. I can play this slow. I can play this safe. I don't need to overextend. And he made it look easy there, connecting onto key shots, working with his teammates. That communication, the second the push came through from Monster, everybody rotates through. There was no hesitation. He used that information, got a perfect position in Heaven, and then just rained down pain on his opponents.
Yeah, I mean, if that's me, I'm instantly just jumping down. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting in this fight. Let's go.
Woo-hoo!
But no, he keeps a level head. And
absolutely.
That's a hallmark of some of the best players here in Rank G.
Absolutely, because again, he is sitting in second position right now. We talk about the best players.
Yeah.
He is up there. He is so close to advancing up to that rank S. And again, these top 3 positions every single week are winning money. So it just goes to show that he's getting that validation every single time, saying, look, I know I'm pretty good and I have the cash to prove it. But as you can see there, amazing, consistent play from Swifty. One of the reasons he's there in the top 2. We're going to hop on to another short break. But when we return, we're going to have more amazing community action here, talking a little bit more about Rank G. Welcome back to the National Championship, the Ascent, the show where we're following, again, some of those up-and-coming stars. My name is Inverum Jamerson. Got a chance to talk to Swifty a little bit, pick his brain about the Rank G experience, and also watch and highlight some of his stellar plays.
Yeah, we were looking for those headshots. We got the headshots. We were looking for some great 1v1s and then, 4Ks, and we got all of it from him.
I want 1v1 and 4Ks. I want nothing in between. I want only those 2 things. But no, we saw some amazing individual talented plays there from him, and also the ability to play with a team, utilize positioning, which I think is kind of the hallmark of players who are trending up towards that top tier pro level.
Yeah.
Because you can play well by yourself, but it's how you play as a unit that really matters.
And definitely studying the pros, right? Because they do have the support system behind them to know where to position. So you might as well watch how they're positioning and take after that.
Oh, of course. And there's so much amazing competitive Counter-Strike going on right now. And of course, also a ton of amazing players over on Twitch who are putting out so many fantastic clips. We're actually going to watch some right now because I heard there was some juicy plays this week.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't seen these, by the way.
No,
so
the first time.
Ooh!
Yeah, that was about my reaction as
Yeah,
well.
that jump up shot.
Yep.
Nice.
Easy peasy.
It's an XQC,
It's XQC,
actually.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I remember seeing that he was playing Counter-Strike. I didn't actually watch it.
Yeah, oh boy. Well, let's see if the skills transfer over. Uh-oh. I think I answered my own question.
Oh, yeah, he just got slept, and then they threw a self-destruct on top of him. That's the XQC.
Yeah.
Flom, another.
You can't primal rage with an op, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, now get right.
It's gonna be serious gaming now.
Oh, nice. We're
It's coming full circle.
ASMR CSGO, I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right into it right now.
I'm going inside.
This is
Here
the
we go.
sound of a bullet dropping.
And we're about to push in here. Looking for the one more. The peak. No. Okay. Okay. Everybody else is getting really excited though, which I feel like is kind of ruining this. Let's follow this. Come on. I'm ready.
Fire
This
train?
flank is actually next level right now,
Dead
though.
5. Dead bomb train.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, I'm picking him.
Oh, those USP shots.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, guys.
Very nice.
Guys.
Very nice.
So nice. Yo, that flank was actually sick. Oh, boy. All right,
Welcome to
simple.
the Ascent ASMR.
Yes, exactly.
All right, simple next.
Simple. All right. Yeah.
This really is coming full circle.
It really
with our
is.
Interview.
Yeah, seriously. These all the
Ooh.
players I love and admire. Well, here they are on your screen, wrecking face.
3v1. He already got the. Well, it was a 4v1. Now 3 down to 3.
Oh! Push him. Yikes. Yikes. Oh. Oh, no. I can see where this is going. That's terrible. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Break cover. I'm just going to go murder you. It's fine. This is fine. Rotate on his side, I believe. Oh. Oh, no.
It's a free plant.
Oh,
no.
Oh, he baits him.
That's smart.
Oh, my God. Is he going to do this right? I mean, I guess he is because we're watching the clip, but
Yeah.
jeez. Oh!
The one tap. The one tap.
That's how we play,
That was
guys.
clean.
That is how we play it. That was clean. It doesn't get much better than that. Ouch. I guess there's a. I guess
It's
there's
simple.
It's
It's
yeah,
easy. It's simple.
easy. It's simple. It's exactly it. We can make puns all day, and every commentator already has. So
Yeah.
easy peasy.
I think I went for the low hanging fruit
Yeah,
right there.
I
though,
think
for
it's
that
about
one.
as low as it gets right there. I'm right there with you. Don't even worry about it. The tree is, it's like a dwarf. It's a tiny tree.
Yeah.
It's like lemons. Are lemon trees? Sure. Anyway, we're going to talk about ranked G a little bit and not about lemon trees because it's not only the basis of this show, but it also helps highlight so many amazing and talented players because they started back at the beginning of November. They've been playing every single week, grinding, putting in the games, putting in the hours. And again, we talked about a little bit about the money, but talk about that top 3 prizing.
Yeah, I mean, the top 3 pricing every week, $1,200 split amongst our top 3. 600 goes to first, I believe.
Mhm.
400, 200 is the next split. And so, yeah, the thing is, when you're trying to make, CSGO your main point in life, right?
Yes.
Where you're trying to make it support you.
Yes.
This definitely helps.
Oh, absolutely, because it's validation. It's
Yeah.
not only like, hey, mom, I'm playing all these video games, but it's like, oh, hey, I'm playing all these video games, and here's $600.
Yeah, I come from a very heavy collegiate scene, right? I've done a lot of collegiate for
Mhm,
different games,
mhm.
and it's as soon as the parents hear, wait, you just made $600? Yeah, I am full blown behind you now. Let's go, let's do this, And so it does help so much.
Oh, yeah.
And just changing the minds of the people around you and supporting you in your endeavor.
Oh, I mean, we even hear last week, thanks, mom's taking him out of school to play games.
Yeah.
That family support, oh, so important. You gotta love it. But we also have some more amazing stats because we can talk about how great these players are.
Mhm.
But a better way to talk about how great they are is to compare the numbers because context is oh so important. I also want to highlight the fact that these are ESEA exclusive stats. We have them just for the show. We get to deep dive into all the amazing stats of these players. Of course, we start out with games played. Swifty, 60, our week 1 guest. 45 games played apiece and 1 and 2 slot respectively.
And yeah, as we see the top 16 here for the week, it's only the, remember, top 3 every week. So Blackers is also in the top 3 right now to get in that prizing money. But hey, we're coming full circle once again. 6Z, our week 1 guest, and then Swifty, we had just on in first and second respectively. But this is so important. 45 games played, and you kind of really do have to just grind out these games if you want to stay out on top.
Oh, absolutely, of course. I mean, you can see the difference that it makes. There are, of course, diminishing returns. Once you play a certain amount of games, of course, it does, you do not quite gain as many points as you push your way through. But here's the thing. If one player is pulling off far ahead, like 6C's like, look, I'm going to play all the games this week. You got to catch up. You got to stay right there with him, and you got to win consistently.
And that's why the win rate is so important here. Now, 6Z, 60% win rate throughout this week, and
Wow.
right behind him, Swifty at the second place, 51. So he really did have to grind. So I feel like, as you had mentioned, diminishing returns. After about your 6th or 7th game, you only get about 2 points per win, and 4 points get detracted every loss.
Suggests to me that Swifty went on a tear right at the start, and then maybe towards the end of this week, maybe had some less optimal games, but clearly started off strong. I also look towards players like Slash in 7th position, 77.8% win rate Ouch! You hate to be on the other team with that guy there.
You're instantly just like, why did I get put on the other team?
I have a 1 in
but
4 chance of losing this game. That feels bad, man.
1 in 4.
Basically,
That
yeah. Basically. Also, like Real BM and all these players, a lot of amazing stats there.
Yeah.
But I think the KD is also an amazing indicator here because it is a direct representation of how well you are impacting the team. Going positive is so important. We can look at these from 1.1 all the way up to 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, just to be in the top 16, you need at least, at this point, 0.9 KD. You have to be able to at least trade away, and if you go positive, then that's fantastic.
Absolutely. But again, kills are a part of it. Again, how you do damage over time is also the important stat. That's why we look at this ADR here. A lot of absolutely incredible ADRs. I have to look at Agony with the 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that out of, I believe, who was like 6Z in week 1
Yeah,
when we
like
were looking at his
93,
individual stats
yeah.
for that week.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We thought 93. Yeah, that's great, but Agony at 101. But he's only in the 15th position, so, maybe he's getting a little bit trolled by
Yeah.
by matchmaking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna play some more games there as well. He, wasn't playing a ton of games, and I was I was praising the headshot percentage of Swifty overall, that 50%. But he's in good company. We're seeing all the way upwards of 58%.
58, yeah, on Katie.
Katie, what are you doing?
Hitting headshots.
Hitting headshots,
That's what she's
apparently.
doing. That's all she's doing. All day, every day.
All day, every day. But these percentages are all incredible. Just goes to show that when they commit,
Yeah.
when the trigger is pulled, faces are being removed.
Yeah, and this is great that we're seeing things higher than 33%, right? Like if you look at major play, if you look at, all the tournaments, you're averaging around 33, 35% for headshot rates, but going up to 50, that is absolutely nuts. But it's about, of course, effective damage and trading away. Getting those 2Ks, definitely a great trade, and 14.9% on 60 Swifty. They're at 12.4.
That's still amazing. Every single time you get a kill, you have a 12.4% chance of then getting an additional kill off the back of that. We're going all the way upwards of almost 17%. That's crazy. And that's just the 2K. If we go on to our 3Ks, that is a separate stat. So for some of these players, they have over a 20% chance every time they get a kill to get an additional follow-up kill. 1 in 5 times you are getting a multi-kill. That is absolutely crazy.
And of course, that's it means so much more in context. That could mean putting your team in an early lead in the man advantage, or just equalizing it out from a disadvantageous position. And so those numbers do mean a lot.
Oh, absolutely, because it means if you're pushing it onto a site, whether it's a take or a retake, there's a very good chance that if you can find one, you can find another kill, which just goes to show, again, positioning is also all so important in this, putting yourself in a position where you can convert on multiple kills at a time. Again, those were some exclusive stats there from ESEA. You can only find those here on the Ascent, but it allows us to deep dive just a little bit more to get a little bit more context. Again, context is so important.
Yeah, Counter-Strike, it's been an arena where like people have been fighting about stats and how to best utilize it over the last year. And so we're trying to offer as many tools as possible, and especially if the individuals themselves want to level up and they want to look at their own numbers. These are great numbers to have.
Oh, absolutely, because there's some of these numbers that these players haven't seen.
Yeah.
They have no idea unless they went through and they manually grinded out the math themselves. But who's got the time? We do. We're going to show you all those amazing numbers, make it to top 16, and get a chance to have all those stats, compare against the best, and see where you stand. That's, again, part of the benefit of Rank G, is it puts you up there with equally skilled players and battling it out for that top all the way to Rank S. Because, as we said, they started out beginning of November, and now they're here. As we can see, these games played for the season. We talked about the season.
For the season.
So the season. Now, these are just the last week's stats. Let's deep dive into the season a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, the season overall, as you can see, our top 2 competitors had played between them over 540 games. Take a look at Swifty, the number 1 position here for the season so far, our man of the hour, with a 55.4% win rate, but he had 250 some odd games this season. And that's including, there was a there was Thanksgiving break
Oh, yeah.
that had happened.
Oh,
You do also have things, or the holidays coming up, and so sometimes you don't have as many hours
You
to
got
put
a
in. But
life.
he
You
put
got
in
like
so
work.
many
You got
games.
school. Maybe you got a
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on for a lot of these players too. They're a bunch
60
of
the
young
student,
guns.
yeah.
Exactly. 62.8% win rate though. Looking towards Slash, 72.2%. He is consistently up there. If he can continue to grind out those games, he is going to be a threat on this leaderboard.
Yeah, the thing is, though, common trend right now amongst the top 16 is that the more games you play, the higher you are up there. You really do need to grind away because we talked about the diminishing returns for your wins. And so even though you have a great win rate, you need to keep that up. You need to make sure that translates into the numbers also for overall matches played. Let's look at, once again, take a look at the ADR. This is over the season. Last time we looked at it weekly, but it remains pretty consistent. Swifty at 72 ADR, 6Z at 87, having some better weeks there and pushing up that average.
And Turismo as well, looking over there, the highest here with 90 average damage per round. That is absolutely wild. Take a look over at the average head start. The fact that some of these players over the course of a season, the fact that Swifty over the course of almost 300 games is able to average a 46% headshot rate.
Yeah. And so this week was a good week, but only by 4% for him,
But
apparently.
that's still a crazy statistic.
is.
How many rounds are in 300 games?
I mean, if he's off average this week by 4%, and that's kind of like the margin or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
margin
Then
for
his bad week would be at about 42%, right? That's nuts.
That's still better than, okay, well, we'll not talk about my individual gameplay, but there we go. These are still some stellar numbers. And again, we look at the weekly stats, and those weekly stats truly are indicative. Yeah, people can have a good week here or there, but they're averaging over roughly 10 to 15% 2Ks in these games. Like, that's crazy.
And I think the trend, the overall theme, I would say, over the last 3 weeks that we've been doing this show is that you have to play smart. And, you can have great aim, but that means, if you're just relying upon your aim and instinct alone, you're going to have really bad weeks and some really good weeks. But it's about consistency, and that's what our top 16 players have been able to pull off. Just absolute consistency across the board.
I think it's huge here because, again, they're playing with other skilled players. Their ability to coordinate on the fly, their ability to shot call, their ability to just know the game inside and out so that no matter who needs to flex and fill up position, they can do it. They can make it happen. And that is how they get those consistent numbers as they work as a team. They know how good their opponents are because they played against them. Maybe in the last game, dude, you had a great last game. Now you're on my team, and now we can absolutely dominate. I'm paraphrasing. I imagine that's how some of the conversations are going down here. Especially, I know if I play a game up against somebody and he just trounced me in the last game, and now he's on my team this time around, that always feels good.
Yeah, you look up his ESEA stats and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm happy you're on my team.
GG easy. Let's make this work. But as you can see, that is a whole season's worth of statistics. Our finale will be in January. January 7th is going to be the finale here. We are crowning our top 2 Rank G participants. They will be elevated up to the status of Rank S, advancing all the way up there. So that's our last show for 2018, man.
I mean, 30 seasons of ESEA so far, but this is only the first one for the Ascent. We got a long way to go.
We do have a long way to go, but it's been an absolute pleasure here so far for these last few weeks of 2018. But of course, we will return in 2019 with more amazing Counter-Strike action. I'm Inverum. That's Jamerson. See you next time.
Happy holidays.